All right, welcome to back to the Speak Your Piece podcast. My name is Ian McNaughton, Big E. Pleased to be joined by host of the Left Side Heavy podcast, friend of the podcast, Jevon Lefebvre. Jevon, what's up, big guy? What's happening?
Just living the dream, doing what dudes do,
Well,
landscaping.
I was gonna say, so we're recording this for context. We're recording this on Thursday, August 11th. Um, the Patriots are playing their preseason game right now, right? So I'm taking you away from that.
Yeah.
So because I mean, we could do a deep dive on, you know, Tyquan Thompson. Isn't he the new wide receiver they drafted from Baylor? We could do a deep dive on him.
Fastest receiver in the draft. Is that
Is
good?
he?
He was the fastest receiver in the draft, yeah.
Um, I was gonna say because I only care about Jordan Davis, who's like the 6'6", 350, like nose tackle for the Eagles, who ran like a 4.84 40-yard dash at the combine. I think I was talking about this with somebody today, where really sidebarring here early. Nice job, Ian. But I was saying I think what I'm gonna do for football season is Ian's run me over rankings of players who I would let run me over, and I would apologize to them for getting in their way. And I think it's early preseason rankings. It's Jordan Davis, Aiden Hutchinson, DK Metcalf, and then it's kind of anybody else. I don't know
And
if it
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt, TJ Watt, TJ Watt definitely. TJ
Miles
Watt's
Garrett.
top. Uh, the problem with
Actually,
Miles,
no, I wouldn't
Mi-
apologize because he slammed a helmet over Mitch
yeah,
Golf. So,
that's a little over aggressive with Miles Garrett, but TJ Watt's definitely in that conversation, top 10.
because I mean, have you ever met a bad Watt? I mean, like, I don't know if you've met any Watts, but I don't know if there's a bad Watt. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like the only problem with the Watt family, like I think everything about the Watt family is perfect, except for the fact that Derek, although a fullback a really important. It's not an important position, but like it's still a useful position if you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
he's the last of a dying breed, Derek Watt, which is really too bad.
yeah. It's one of those positions where like you're needed for goal line, big fourth and ones, and then if you're not needed, then you're a gunner or like on special teams blocking the guys trying to block a punt type of situation, you know.
Yeah,
But like you said, dying breed is pretty accurate, so I think you got it correct there.
but yeah, I'll take that into account. T.J. Watt, T.J. Hawkinson, actually tight end. Maybe I throw a little T.J. Hawkinson love in there.
Oh, I got some TJ Hawkinson love. He's my starting tight end on my dynasty team, so
Okay, so there we go. So there.
that's my
Um,
guy.
and then like guys, I would absolutely sue if they ran me over. I think Zach Wilson would have to be on that. Tua, I think if Tua ran me over, I would have to sue.
Yeah,
Um, Sean
Kyler
McVay.
Sean McVay.
Sean, any NFC West coach, not Pete Carroll. I think that's I think where I go with that. All right, so let's get back. Let me backtrack to what we were actually going to pod about.
Yeah,
So
let's get
today,
back on track. Yeah.
so Jevon and I are going to do. This is more of a chill rankings for the NHL jerseys for the upcoming season. This is a some real summertime August podcast type content right here. But pretty much because the NHL is going to have, I think they're doing a new set of reverse retros this year. I believe we're going to see ads on the jerseys for the first time this upcoming season. I think it's also a good time to just rank jerseys, a team set of jerseys, home, away, and alternates. Um, I mean, it's kind of interesting because I have like 5 teams in an S tier.
I got 6.
Okay, and then
So we're pretty close on that.
pretty close. I think there's a really good middle bunch of like 5 to 15 teams,
Yeah.
and then I think it really drops after like 15, 16.
Yeah, I mean, like there was some where like some teams can fluctuate depending on what kind of dam happened, but I just know that they're like below average. They're in the 17 to 24 tier, where it's like if they catch me on a good day, like if I have a good day at work, they can maybe jump into the 13 to 16 range. But if I'm having a bad day, then they're dead last. You know what I'm saying? So they're kind of riding that wave where, hey, you better wish that I don't hit turbulence or else you're going down the totem pole, you know? So as the
So
we'll see how I feel as the podcast goes on. We'll see how I'm feeling where I wanna pick them.
so
But
it's funny you mention this because the team I asked around, a few people about this. And the team that I really got a lot of feedback on was Calgary.
yeah.
And now I don't know if that's because I also asked some of my friends who are Canucks fans who are like, no, fuck Calgary. Calgary sucks. Who just they don't like Calgary in general. Um,
I despise Calgary,
yeah,
but without spoiling anything, I really like their jerseys. So
I have them really high too on my
so
list.
bias aside, Calgary's jerseys are some of my favorites in the league.
All
So
right, so we'll go. We're gonna draft maybe all the jerseys. I think, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how far. We'll see how long this takes, and how heated we get, because, you and I might have some real hardcore discussions here.
yeah.
You're the guest of honor, so I will give you the first pick.
Oh,
I will
all right.
let you have the first pick of what you think is the best set of jerseys in the NHL entering the 22-23 season.
All right. Is this snake style or are we alternating?
I think we can alternate picks.
Imagine a
You re-
snake draft with two people.
you really are getting into like fantasy football season.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Always.
Do we? I was gonna say, do we have to claim picks as well? Like, all right, what pick do you want?
We have to do some like obscure race to figure out who gets first pick on where they draft. Oh man.
You have the first overall pick. Which team and which set of jerseys do you think is the best in the league?
All right. So some people might consider this like a sarcastic love amongst the league, but I genuinely am in love with these jerseys, especially now that they came out with the white ones because this might come off really bad and really like racist, but I think white jerseys are just like I think they're cleaner and like they just look better in my opinion. Like the Washington jerseys, I like the white one more than the red one. But my pick here are the Kachina jerseys for the Coyotes. That's my 1-1. And I think the white Kachina jersey just pops and is just I'm in love with the Kachina jerseys. And like that might be a sarcastic love amongst the league, but I genuinely love those jerseys and I think they're my favorites.
So for context, I had Arizona in the S tier,
Yeah, me too.
and that
Obviously.
it is such an upgrade to what they had before, and the fact that they even decided to keep that third jersey, the
Yeah.
old red that they had, it's just like, no, you don't need to keep that.
You don't
It's
what like usually people break out the alternates to like like spike the fans like love for the team, but you
Yeah.
can't get any higher than the Kachina jerseys. So you may as well just go Buffalo style and scratch your third and just or Detroit style and be like, no, we're just gonna rock these two. And
Well,
then
and typically an alternate jersey is like for a special occasion, right? Or
yeah,
like
or just to mix it up a bit.
here's a rare opportunity to see this other jersey that we have, and it's just like that jersey stinks. I don't need
Yeah,
that red jersey.
yeah,
I just need Kachinas.
yeah.
Like,
So yeah,
you
1-1
don't you
Kachina.
don't yeah, you don't need to make it any more complicated. Okay, that's a good pick. The S tier, I think, like, it could go a bunch of different ways here, but I had Detroit as my number one pick because I am biased.
Naturally, yeah.
But like, it's such a clean like like it's the best logo in the league. I think
I
I
yeah,
think it just did that right.
I think they have the best logo, most boring jersey concept, which makes it a mid jersey to me.
Okay, so with that being said, I think they have the best logo. I think it's easy, it's plain, it's simple. You don't. It's the KISS method to keep it simple, stupid. You don't have to complicate it. Just make a red and white jersey.
I think one of the best jerseys ever made was the Detroit Winter Classic jerseys.
Yes, when they played the Blackhawks.
Oh, those were phenomenal. It was like a red, but like a cream or like an off-white instead of a white. And it had a bit more of like a pizzazz to the wheel and the wing logo.
Yes,
And it was just a fun, one of my favorite jerseys ever.
a
The,
real
d-
a lot more personality than the regular
yeah.
Wings
And it
jersey.
just like the jersey concept itself was a little bit more, had a bit more there instead
Yeah,
of the standard three stripes on this one. So I think if Detroit kind of brought that concept back a bit, oof, Jevon would be a happy boy. Because I love
and,
the Detroit logo.
yes,
I think it's the
and
best.
I mean the other thing with Detroit is that they have so many different ways they could go with an alternate jersey if they wanted to have an alternate jersey. And then they brought out the reverse retro because they had to, like a couple years ago. It's like this is shit. This is
Yeah,
a bad jersey. Nobody likes this. This is not what we're asking for.
yeah,
It's like a practice jersey.
yeah.
But I think just on the whole, as a set, the red and white, it's easy. It's simple. It does the job. You recognize it. Detroit's in my S tier, so I have them too. Who are you taking third?
I'm gonna keep it within the original six family,
Hmm?
and I'm gonna go the Rags, the Rangers.
Mmm.
I love the Rangers jerseys, especially the white ones again, because it has a bit more pattern to the shoulder. Like it
Mm-hmm.
has the blue on the shoulder and then the white and then the red stripe and then the white um mane. I think it's just a really nice jersey and I just love the Rangers going across. I think that's a cool way to just like have on a jersey is like it's obviously it doesn't really have a logo, but I
But that
just
letter
love
that lettering is unique.
yeah, exactly. And I just love the concept of their jersey. I think red, white, and blue go really well together. And I just love the Rangers concept. If you listen back to me and George's episode when we ranked jerseys, that jersey was in my top three as well. And if you want to go back and listen to it, I won't spoil where I put it, but it's in my top three along with Arizona. I just love New York's jersey, and I think the concept with the red pants makes it even better. But the jersey itself, I still love.
It's one of it's like an original six jersey and the only team that's done the lettering, right? Like in the '70s, they had that kind of Ranger, like they had the Rangers logo as the jersey, which was fine. But like when you think of the Rangers jersey, when you think of the New York Rangers jersey, most people think of the lettering going down
Yeah.
the down
Or
the
the
jersey.
or the Lady Liberty and navy blue jersey. That one
Yeah,
was too. But no one thinks of like the emblem as
yeah.
the logo, right? Yeah.
Unless you're of a certain age, right?
Yeah.
But like for you and I, it's like it's either the lettering or it's the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. But yeah,
Um,
the Rangers are my pick. Love those jerseys.
okay, I thought you were gonna take my next pick with the original six. When you said original six, I'm like, oh, he's gonna do it. But that's not the team I had as my next in line. But I'm gonna go with the fourth pick. I'm gonna go with Montreal
Yeah.
because
Montreal's in my S tier as well. Love
because
Montreal's jersey.
Montreal is it's Montreal. It's the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
Like they have the logo. They've always wore red. They've always wore white. And even when they went with an alter like I'm trying to remember which Winter Classic was it 2017, 2018 with Boston where they went with the white, a
The
different
off-white
white.
kind of thing.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
off-white kind of thing like that worked. They had a blue jersey. They had a blue jersey.
Oh yeah, the reverse retro jerseys were blue. Yeah.
They had a blue jersey for the reverse retro. That worked. Like
Yeah.
there's hardly ever been a bad Montreal jersey. Like I
Again, it's the blue, red, and white. Like that
yes.
concept just works in any way, and the colors just contrast perfectly. So Montreal is, yeah, right up there with me.
So that yeah, that's an S tier uniform, the red and the white. And I mean like they've more or less like they've changed so many jersey suppliers. They've more or less had that same jersey concept
Yeah.
since like the 70s.
No, it hasn't changed. If anything, they may have just like updated their logo a bit to make it a bit more cleaner and a lot less like amateur. But the
Yeah.
concept itself has stayed relatively the same, which makes it that much better, you
Mhm.
know?
So Montreal is my pick, fourth overall. Who do you got fifth?
You see, this one, I don't know if it'll be considered a hot take, but I don't think it could get much hotter of a take than Detroit being the second pick overall.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Buffalo.
All right.
I love Buffalo's jerseys. I love the royal blue look. I think the golden yellow works well with it. And like you brought up earlier with Montreal, they have a concept with the cream, the off-white jersey, and that jersey is just beautiful as well. Um, I just think the colors mesh perfectly together. The blue, the white, the off-white colors, like they're all clean. I feel like it's not talked about enough because how shit Buffalo has been. Like I think there's a stat right now in the league that only 9 active NHL players have played Buffalo in the playoffs.
Yes.
so so it kind of demises like anything they have going for them right now. But I will give them their respects and say that their jerseys are top 5 in the league, which makes it worthy to be the fifth pick in this jersey draft.
Similar with Buffalo, like how we talked about with Arizona, the fact that Buffalo went back to that royal blue instead of
Yeah.
that dark blue that they had.
The dark blue is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the royal blue. It's just such a clean color.
And Buffalo's had like an interesting jersey history in the fact that they've had the Buffalo Slug, which is like that old black and like red like very 2000s type jersey.
The Danny Briere.
Danny Briere type beat, Maxim
Yeah.
Afinogenov, era jersey, and
Hasser.
then they had remember that like blue and gold, like it was like blue in the front and like gold in the back, like alternative jersey that they tried for like a few games, and it just looked awful. I'll see if I can find that, but like,
Send me a picture of it if you find it.
yeah, because the the Sabres have had some bad they've had some interesting jerseys. I'll say that much. And then I mean, now with these, they're classics. Like they can't like you can't go wrong with those. Yeah,
No.
here's what it is. I'll send it to you. So for those who are listening, it is yellow. It's the gold yellow at the front, and then
Oh
blue
yeah,
at the
those
back.
ones. Those ones are fucking awful.
Those were bad. And I
Like
mean now
whoever
it's now
created that concept is fired for life. They have a
how
lifetime ban in the NHL.
how they got approved to make that jersey, I have no idea.
It's criminal behavior. Criminal
So
behavior.
so with Buffalo, it's easy now because you go back to a royal blue, the logo everybody thinks of with the sabers, like the saber and the sword and the sword, the emblem. I see where you're coming from with that.
I think I think it works with this jersey concept. I think if they had anything different, then it wouldn't really go well together. I think this overall jersey concept looks really nice, and I've like always been in love with it. Sorry, my microphone is kind of like out here for a bit, but yeah,
Hey, what did I tell you? This isn't a professional
yeah,
podcast.
but
We're not
yeah,
fancy.
I just love these jerseys a lot. So yeah, Buffalo is my third pick.
All right, so you took them fifth overall, sixth overall. See, all these are kind of subjective. Like, I don't know if there's really like a conclusive. Like, obviously you've done your rankings, but I don't know if there's a conclusive ranking. If that makes sense. Like,
There's
it
nothing is
to
conclusive when it comes to ranking anything.
true. Um, So this is very subjective, but 6 overall. I'm gonna go with the Calgary Flames.
Fucking asshole. That was my next pick.
So and again, Calgary Calgary is similar to Arizona and Buffalo, and the fact that they went back to like the old like '80s jerseys that they had, and like thank God because that's certainly an upgrade over what they had before.
The Jerome McGinley era with the black sea. The black and red was just too dark. There wasn't enough life in that. And like Calgary always played in like I feel like a dim arena. Like
The Saddle
it
Dome didn't always
always
have the lights on.
it always looked so dark. At least it looked dark on TV. It was something about Rexall and the Saddle Dome that just always made it look so much darker when the Battle of Alberta played. And then when they broke out those red and black jerseys, it just looked so like I couldn't really see. Like I don't know, it was just like such a depressing environment. Like I don't know how to say this. Um,
You can slander Calgary on this podcast.
no,
It's fine.
like I fucking hate Calgary, but it was just a 10 billion out of 10 move going back to the jerseys they have now because they went from like in my opinion one of like the worst jerseys.
Hmm.
The like their season A's were weird. Like the assistant captains had the Atlanta Flames logo, and that was kind of cool, but it just looked so clustered on the jersey. It just looked weird. And then now they just went to such a much cleaner, much nicer look. And I think it shoots their jerseys up into S tier.
Yeah.
And I love their jerseys now. It's just it brightens up the Saddle Dome now.
Makes
Brightens it.
you makes you maybe want to watch the Flames now
Yeah.
because it's like okay, I was gonna say Goudreau or Kachuk, but they don't play for them
Wah
anymore.
wah wah wah.
Uh, uh, um,
Elias Lindholm.
Elias Lindholm, Noah Hannafin. Now you see those guys.
Huberto.
Huberto, you see Huberto in one of those jerseys, and it's like, damn, those are some nice jerseys.
Yeah.
That's a good uniform.
No, yeah, they're clean jerseys, and they represent a flame more than they used to, and I
Yeah,
think that's what they're going for. You know?
this is the easiest way to boil it down. They're the flame, so let's make it look like a flame.
Exactly. They look like a candle, so that's perfect.
That was my sixth pick. You have the seventh pick here.
I do, and this one might kind of stir up a little bit of controversy. I don't know why I say controversy. Like it, it just might be a little bit hotter of a take than Buffalo.
Okay.
But this is just a person, like you said, rankings are subjective, and this is was one of my least favorite jerseys until they kind of changed it,
Okay.
and I've fell in love with these jerseys ever since. It's my favorite color concept out there, the Minnesota Wild.
Ooh, I like that.
The forest green and the cream color with I really love their logo too. The head of a bear with like the look of a wild forest with the moon in it, I think is really cool and unique. The name kind of sucks. The
That's a
Minnesota
wild.
Wild, like the wild, like okay. But I mean, I love their jerseys. The red kind of like makes a bit of a splash in it, but this is the one time, maybe one of the few where I like the home jerseys more. Like I just love the forest green and the cream color contrast. I think it just looks really good. And it's been one of my I at the start, I portrayed my cover art and like all that of my podcast after that color scheme. The
Hmm.
forest green and the cream color. I just really like it. I love the Bucks, like the Milwaukee Bucks, because they have the same thing going on. So I've just fell in love with Minnesota's jersey. So I have them in S tier as well. So that's my next pick.
I had Minnesota in my top 10 for
Yeah,
context. Minnesota was in my top 10.
yeah.
I mean, you can't really hate on it. Like
No.
as jerseys, you can't really like. I think if you are hating on Minnesota jerseys, you're kind of just a hater. Like you're
Yeah.
really just going out of your way to be like, no, I don't like Minnesota and their jersey stinks. Like okay, I guess I think they're fine. I don't think
Like
there's a lot of
yeah.
other things to be upset with Minnesota about than their jerseys. How about that?
And when they had one of the worst jerseys of all time. I don't know, like you have to remember these because it's almost impossible to forget. They had the red jerseys
Yeah.
with the green sleeves, and then their logo was it looked like a practice jersey logo they have now. It had this circle with Minnesota Wild, and it had the bear in the middle of it. Like it looked like it was on a hockey puck. And I'm like, these are bad. Like
Well, and
these have to go
well,
now.
like, well, and like that, like they had like an ultra like 2000s type logo as well, where
Yeah,
it's like in writing, where it's like Minnesota, like in like 2000s font, where it's like
yeah.
no, this is not that's not a sustainable look.
No.
You can't do that.
Yeah, that's a no can do.
Um, Minnesota's a good pick. I had them in my top 10.
Where are you gonna go now, Mr. McNaughty?
I have two teams here that I'm trying to decide on. And I'm gonna here with my eighth pick, this is gonna be maybe subjective and controversial. I'm gonna say the Ottawa Senators.
The Ottawa Senators. I had them B tier. Um,
So with the Senators, I'm gonna give the Senators credit here because this is what the ninth pick I have.
yeah, I got one, two, three, four.
So yeah, so this is my eighth pick.
Yeah,
So
it's your fourth pick. It's the eighth pick overall.
eighth pick overall. So I'm gonna give credit to Ottawa here because I think their jerseys look nice, like the black and the white, and the logo looks good. They went
I
back.
think yeah, they've definitely cleaned it up. Back when like Eric Carlson was on
Oh God.
Ottawa, like those numbers were weird and like everything about it just didn't really like sit well with me. But now they've just like cleaned up the lettering, the jersey style. I really like it with the old logo they went back to. So
Mhm.
I fell back in love with Ottawa's jerseys, and I don't hate you picking them at eight at all because I really
Well,
like them.
well, this is why I'm gonna give Ottawa credit because like things seem to be going up for the Senators now for some reason. Like things seem to be looking up for them.
Oh yeah, they had an electric off season.
Good off
Everything was
season.
coming to their own.
They have good jerseys. I wish they would keep their red reverse retro as like a third jersey. I think they should actually just make those permanent. Like I think that's a good enough jersey to
Yeah,
keep. Um, I mean, credit to the Senators for actually doing something right and getting like making their jerseys look nice compared to what they've looked like in the years past with like the 3D Senator. It's like no, I don't
yeah,
want this. Not
yeah. I didn't
not
like it.
not no, not my Senator. Give me the 2D Senator logo and
Yeah,
just a nice black and white jersey. That's especially the white jerseys. Like I think the white jerseys are the best Senators jerseys.
yeah. I
Um,
agree. It's just
I
really
would
clean.
I would love a Brady Kachuk Senators jersey if he wasn't leaving Ottawa. I think in like the next 5 years. Um, who do you
I've been
have?
I've been like I have the same situation. Like I really want a Besser jersey because he's been my favorite Canuck, but he's in every single fucking trade rumor the Canucks have for the past like 2.5 years, and I'm like, I'm just not gonna get one because I feel like he's just going to. And like every time I think about it, his name is brought up in a rumor, and then like he signed a 3-year deal, so that should be like enough for me to get one. But I just know as soon as I purchase one. Besser's going to be in like a trade package with like Tyler Myers or something like that for like Noah Dobson or some shit. And I'm like, ah,
Well, no, it's like it's the Jordan Peele gif with like somebody wearing a JT Miller jersey.
yeah.
That person's just ultimately sweating right now. Like shit, 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 shit. No, come on, no, come on, please, don't
Well,
do this to me.
that was my friend Brandon Edie. He specifically was saying that Canucks should extend JT Miller just because Edie bought a JT Miller jersey. It's the only reason why he's saying that. He's like, I don't give a fuck what they do, but like, I just bought a jersey, so you have to keep them. And I'm like, oh my god. Yeah.
um, Okay, so Senators, I have 8. You have 9. This is your ninth pick here.
All right. I think this is unanimous across the league that I think this is a nice jersey. It has a lot of history behind it. It's had some good years. Their third jersey, they're shooting it back to one of the best teams that they've had, Pittsburgh Penguins.
Okay,
Pittsburgh Penguins. Their third jersey, they went back to the letter and across when they had Yager, Lemieux. I've I like Pittsburgh's jerseys, and is a bit of a bias because my favorite animal is a penguin, maybe. But along with the Minnesota color concept, I really like the black and yellow look, and I think I really like their jerseys. I just think um they don't have a bad one a part of their set. So I like Pitt.
I appreciate the fact that they went back to the old gold and black compared to like the whatever cream and black that they had for a
It
while
was
there.
it
That was
was almost like a faded gold. Like it
yeah,
wasn't quite cream, but it wasn't gold. It was like a light gold. It was weird.
it wasn't even off white. It was like cream. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was weird. Um, and I mean, it's definitely an upgrade over what they had before. And like you say with that throwback, with the lettering on it, that similar to what they were wearing when they won the cup in like the early '90s. Um, I can't hate on that. Pittsburgh was eighth in my rankings.
Eighth?
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
can't I can't hate on that. And I mean, it's a good thing you have Crosby and Malkin wearing good jerseys because that's
Yeah.
like that's I think
Like
that's the most.
if they were in like spoiler alert, but like New Jersey Devils jerseys,
Mhm.
I'm throwing a riot because it's like they deserve better jerseys
If
than
they're wearing like a modern day Winnipeg jersey, it's like no, no, we're not.
if they were like in the Timu Solani Winnipeg Jets
Yeah,
jerseys,
yeah,
that would be elite. But I
that's
mean the
elite.
current Winnipeg Jets jerseys,
You kind of have like Malcolm would have left if he had to wear another year of like a current Winnipeg Jets jersey. It's like no, no,
yeah,
I don't need
no,
this.
yeah, no.
Okay, rounding out the top 10. It's a good thing Brandon isn't here because he would have picked Toronto already at some point here, and you
I
know
don't
me.
even know where that guy's at with his fandom. I think he's just so sick and tired of Toronto that he's cheering for. I think he's cheering for the Rangers more than the Maple Leafs now. But
Is Brandon like the Drake of NHL fans, where he's like on a new team?
no, I think it's just because his grandpa used to play for like the Rangers or something like that, or he has ties with it. So like a few
Uh,
years ago, he's like, I'm gonna cheer for Toronto, and like I'm gonna start cheering for New York as well. And then like it'll look bad if he starts cheering for them now and like actually like publicizes his New York fandom because I mean they're just starting to get good and they just went to the ECF. But a few years ago he did say like I'm cheering for New York as well now. But I think he's
I
just so done with Toronto.
I have a little bit of a rooting interest because I went to I went to Madison Square Garden in the first round of the 2015 playoffs when the Rangers played Pittsburgh.
Okay,
Madison Square Garden kicks ass, by the way, in case anybody.
I want to go there so badly.
It is so cool, dude. It is the nicest building I've ever been in, bar none. Just nicest building. Um, Rounding out my top 10. Yeah, I'll do it. I'm gonna take the Seattle Kraken.
Seattle was next on my list.
I think Seattle. Like, here's the thing. I keep saying this when I come back to the Kraken because they just had they have a nice arena, right? Like they have the Climate Pledge. I've been there a couple times already. It's a nice rink,
Is
and
it
it's like,
nice? I mean, it's newly built. It
but
better be
that's
nice.
but that's just it. Like it's like they just put $1 billion into Climate Pledge. Like it's pretty tough to fuck up if you put $1 billion in it over the last 18 months. Like
I mean,
it's
don't tell the city of Poco that after they fucking built the new rec center and it's complete ass. Like, fuck.
true,
Like they
true.
just like when sometimes when like you modernize an apartment but it's just like everything works just like shittier. Like when sometimes some utilities are like older, but there's like the water pressure is perfect and everything just works at top level. It just looks bad. But when you modernize it, the water pressure is like lower, the showers suck, the hand washing stations are terrible. You know?
You
Kind
got
of get
so now,
what?
you now have like stainless steel kitchen appliances which look great, but the ice maker isn't working regularly, or
And like it takes 15 minutes to wash shampoo out of my hair as opposed to a quick like blast from like a firefighter's hose type of shower that the old Poco Center had. You know, like we're getting way off topic, but Poco
the,
built a new
the,
rec center, and in the locker room, they had a shower almost the size of my house, the upstairs of my house, and they had one shower in it in the corner, and it was a handicap shower. They had one shower in it. That's all.
I feel like this should be what the podcast is about. It's just ranking minor hockey league arenas in Greater Vancouver.
As a facility, Poco Rec Center isn't bad because they added like a basketball court, a gym, a library, a swimming pool. They got the works in there. It's just the locker rooms suck. So, and that's all I use it for. So,
I think the worst locker rooms I think I've ever played in were in Squamish.
yeah.
Squamish, because like Squamish, it's like I don't know how the hell we fit like 15 kids
Yeah.
in all their bags in a tight ass locker room that's about a little bit bigger than my bedroom, but it didn't make sense.
Yeah, no.
And,
Very
and
inefficient.
um, anyways, Seattle Kraken, they are the top. They're the 10th best jerseys in the NHL because they're new and it's pretty tough to fuck up New Jersey.
No, and what I like about them is that they're a little bit more unique and they're very like bright. They stand out.
Yeah,
And I really like the color schemes. Like I like how it's just like three different shades of blue and like the very dark navy with the two different kind of shades of turquoise on there. I think it represents the Kraken name like really well. So I really like Seattle's jerseys a lot.
I, I love last year when they were doing the expansion draft and people were like, oh, that's a really big S on the jersey. It's like, no, that's just Jamie Alexiak, who's like 6'5", and he's just really tall. Like, no, the jersey.
Yeah, they just needed
Jer-
a bigger jersey for him.
yeah, no, the logo isn't really that big. It's just Jamie Alexiak's big. You have the 11th pick here.
Yeah, see, this is in the area where I
You could go so many different
I
ways
know
here.
I put this team in the A tier, but I'm
Okay.
not necessarily confident that they belong in the A tier now that I'm looking at it. But going through the jerseys, nothing really stands out more to me than these ones. And I think their main jerseys are pretty nice. Like I don't mind them, but it's like their alternates that kind of push them over the edge for me. And jerseys that they've used in the past, like their winter classics and reverse retros that I really, really like. I'm gonna go St. Louis Blues.
That's a great pick. That you know what, St. Louis really should be in the top 10 of these rankings. But like, that's a great pick.
I'm gonna go St. Louis Blues. And I'm really happy you said great pick because I was really 50-50 on it. And now
No,
I'm happy that I got him because I just think like again, I mean they brought back the Gretzky Hall St. Louis Blues jerseys with the red. Just a classic one, right? And then their winter classic one, like Buffalo, they add a cream base
yeah,
to it, and it just works so well. And they have similar colors to Buffalo with a touch of black on it, and it just makes it a little bit different, but pretty much the same. And I think they have one of the best logos in the NHL with the blue note. So St. Louis is up there, and their alternates with the different color of blue, almost like a Caribbean blue type. I
yeah.
really enjoy.
That throwback is a really nice throwback.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, do you remember like? again, speaking of old jerseys, do you remember when St. Louis had like I'm thinking of like the Patrick Berglund like 2010s, Paul Stastny, like it was kind of like not it wasn't like the dark blue, but it was like kind of like this weird blue, and it didn't really have any striping at the bottom, but it had like different color shoulders. I'm trying to see if I can find it here, but like the current Blues jersey is such an upgrade over that. It's just it's so nice. It's so all the Blues jerseys are just so nice. All the ones that they wear right now are just like
Yeah, I see what jersey that you're kind of pulling up now, I think.
yeah. I'm thinking of like the Patrick Berglund. Yeah, like it's kind of the ones that they're wearing now,
But it's just
but
not as modernized.
not as modernized and just like there's no striping on the bottom and yeah,
Yeah.
I just think it looks. I just think their jerseys right now look so nice,
Yeah.
and it works. It works so well. And like you say, the logo works so well in so many different ways.
And again, it was jerseys that I was a bit off of, but like I've grown into and I really enjoy them a lot.
So
So,
you took St. Louis 11th. Really good pick.
thank you, sir.
Good value pick.
Good value pick, great value. Another great value pick was is them potentially maybe winning the cup this year,
Mm.
or at least 100. Maybe I think St. Louis is going to have a better year than most people say.
I
But
uh, I had them as a dark horse last season. I'm not sure if I believe that now. Um, my 12th pick. I have two teams that I'm looking at here. You know, I'm gonna go. I'll go with the Maple Leafs here.
the Maple Leafs.
I'll say the Maple Leafs because
Now, how much does the Drew jerseys impact your ranking?
I think there's a small percentage.
The
Like it's a little bit, not a lot, but
Drew collab?
it's a little bit. Um, no, well, you like you know you didn't realize this growing up, but like those old Maple Leaf jerseys. Again, I'm really like a sucker for just talking about back in the day, but like you do you also have memories of like in the early like in the later 2000s watching Hockey Night in Canada and it's you know fucking who am I thinking of
Darcy Tucker.
Vesa Toskala wearing that like block maple leaf and it's like blue down the right like
And
that
had the bubble
stuff
lettering, like the
bubble
bubble
letter
letter. It
that
was terrible.
stuck
Such bad jerseys.
and now like they're at like the logo looks really nice it's really clean it's really simple it's not
Yeah. I
it's
love the detail that they've added to the maple leaf. It just looks so much better.
yep. And I mean, now they do I don't know if they still do like the arenas as an alternate. They have the
The St.
St. Patrick,
Pat's. Yeah.
St. Pat's. They do the Drew jerseys, which I like the Drew jerseys. I think it's a nice. It doesn't. It looks good, but apparently it's not actually that nice of a like jersey. Like the quality of it apparently isn't that great
I
because it's
mean, it also is like a irreversible
yeah, it's a
one.
reversible one.
So it's like how good of a quality can you get when with an irreversible anything? It's probably kind of bad, but
Yeah. So and I mean, again, kind of what we were talking about earlier I am so thankful that Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner are wearing these jerseys instead of like the Matt Sundin 2000s jerseys that just look so bad now compared to what they're wearing.
yeah. No.
So
100%.
I'll put Toronto 12th.
All right. Um See, I had this team in my A tier, but I don't like them in A tier anymore.
Okay.
And or do I? I don't know. I'm very indecisive on this team. I I'm like picking between three right now.
Can I just say the hardest team I had an issue with were the New Jersey Devils because like I didn't think they were awful, but I didn't think they were great, and like I didn't know where to actually put them in my ranking, so I just gave them their own category of just like they're New Jersey. Like it's better.
I
I think it's better than what New Jersey had than before, but like it's still also not that great in the grand scheme of all NHL jerseys.
yeah, that's fair.
So that was the one team I struggled with.
All right. I'm still so indecisive on this right now. All right, pick a number between 1 and 3.
Two.
All right. So, these jerseys I've changed my heart on because in the ranking I did with Georgia, I had them low.
Okay.
But then after reevaluating it and seeing them in person at Tuason Mills, I'm like, these jerseys are actually beautiful. And that's the San Jose Sharks.
Okay. Because that was the second. That was the second team. That was the team I was trying to decide between Toronto and San Jose.
Yeah, that's the San Jose Sharks. And the teal threw me off, but like when I saw them in person, I'm like, all right, maybe I was having a bad work day and I saw San Jose play on TV and I'm like, these jerseys are ass. But like I saw them in person and I'm like, these are clean. And like the white ones are really clean.
Mm-hmm.
And then their all black jerseys are just chef's kiss. So I got San Jose um as my uh sixth, seventh pick.
I think you're, I
Seventh
think
pick.
they're I think they're your seventh pick. Yeah.
Yeah, my seventh.
Um. No, San Josie. I know that the experience you have going to Tawasin Mills and like seeing a jersey in person because like I remember when Detroit's reverse retro came out and it's like, oh, maybe these won't be as bad in person. It's like no, they're still awful. They are still garbage. But San Jose, like I really like their teal jersey. Like that's why they're so high on my rankings. It's because I really like their teal jerseys and I really like their white jerseys. And like you say, the black jerseys are just automatic. Like they're just
Yeah.
like in, and I
Yeah,
mean,
I wasn't a fan of them for some reason, and then oh my gosh, I just to refresh my memory, I looked up Detroit's reverse retro jerseys.
yeah,
These are so bad. These are terrible.
yeah, no, and like again, Ian, optimistic Ian is like, oh, I'll go see these at Tawasin Mill, and surely they won't be as bad, and they were just as bad as I suspected,
Maybe
and
if
then
they added some like red trim around the gray, it might like make it look a bit better, but these are so bad, dude.
they're asking $200 for said jersey. It's like, no, no,
Give
I'm
you a
not.
hundred, give you $100 Monopoly money for it. And that's
I have
still overpaying.
I have 75 Canadian Tire dollars. Who says no?
Who says no? Oh
That's
my
I,
gosh.
I like that I like that San Jose pick because that's who I was struggling with between
Yeah.
Toronto and San Jose. Um, hmm. Yeah, you could go with so many different teams here for my. I think this is my 14th pick. I'm gonna go who's best on my board right now, and I'm gonna say Colorado.
Colorado. Yeah, I had them in B tier. They're low B tier. They're fringe C for me though, because I like the colors. I don't like the jersey concept. I don't know. It's just like weird, but
I
I
like
respect
it. I
it.
like it. Went back to this jersey concept because they used to have this concept before, right? But then
Yeah.
they've gone to like this like royal blue, like almost like Sabres blue. And it's just like I think the darker blue works a bit more with what they're trying to
Mm.
pull off. Especially because their alternate jersey is a darker blue.
Yeah.
Like now you have like this royal type blue, but then your alternate is like a darker blue. So it's kind of weird. That's why it's not higher up for me because there's a little bit of inconsistency. But I like the design. I like the logo. Um, I again, these are really interchangeable teams. Like
Yeah.
you could tell me like two other teams should be here, or three other teams. So I'm like, yeah, probably. But that's where I have a Colorado 14th.
I respect it. I respect it. They're in the same tier that I'm currently in with some of my next picks, so they could easily interchange. I do think they have the nicest overall, one of top five overall jersey in the league out of all jerseys with the Quebec Nordiques reverse retro. I think that one is a really nice jersey. I
See,
like
I
the.
I struggle with that one because it's like it feels like a bit of an insult. It's like when Carolina wears Hartford Whalers stuff. It's like it feels like a little disrespectful to like wear the throwbacks of the team. Like I wouldn't want the Oklahoma City Thunder to be wearing Seattle Sonics stuff, if that makes sense.
So do you not like Memphis when they wear the Vancouver Grizzlies jerseys?
I don't. I think that's a little disrespectful to like Vancouver. I don't know. Maybe I'm old school in that regard. Where it's like you're the Grizzlies and Memphis. You're not the Grizzlies of Vancouver. That was
I mean, Quebec did move. I don't really see it that
they
way.
they arguably shouldn't be called the Memphis Grizzlies anyways because I don't know how many. I don't know what the Grizzly population is in Tennessee
That's
anyways.
isn't that like Utah Jazz? Like, there's no jazz music in
Yeah,
Utah.
yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Because I'm
Didn't they
pretty
go?
sure the team they used to
Weren't
be
they in
New Orleans.
like
I'm pretty sure.
yeah? That's a like they were in Louisiana and they which made sense. But like, you go to Utah, there's no jazz music.
If you're naming the team now, you're not calling it the Utah Jazz. Or like if you are, you're saying it ironically. Like, yeah, they should be
Yeah.
called the Utah Jazz. Like, no, no, they shouldn't be.
Yeah. Like no. Like what is going on in Utah? Like
Uh Non-alcoholic beer.
and hiking maybe? I don't
Skiing.
know.
They got some good ski resorts in you. They
Yeah.
hosted the Olympics once. There's gotta be some good ski
Oh yeah,
resorts.
Salt Lake City. So
Yeah.
has to be good. Has to be
Utah
good.
Utah and BYU, one of my favorite college football rivalries, the Holy War.
All right.
You got 15.
I got 15. All right. I am sticking in the hometown, the Vancouver Canucks.
Ooh.
That might be high on some people's list, but I like the blue and green. I think them losing the arched lettering of Vancouver over the Orca whale definitely adds a shit ton of points to them. But I think me putting them at 15 is a lot more realistic than you putting Detroit at 2. So don't you
Fair
dare be
enough. You know what? That's fair. That's fair.
don't you dare be doing to my pick Vancouver at 15 because I think, like said earlier, they are interchangeable with a
Yeah.
lot of teams at this level. And I just think like I I, f- I know it's not really like involved in this, but the skate logo that just adds so much to like their overall legacy. And I really like their white jerseys as well. I just think everything pops on it, and I like the blue and green collab, so that's why I
Ian,
got them.
I was gonna say Ian was allowed to be biased on his podcast, so you can be a bit biased here.
Hey, me putting them at 15 puts them mid, so technically it's not terrible. I'm putting them at average. There's 32 teams and they're at 15th overall. That's not bad.
I don't hate that.
No, you definitely hate it. You're just trying to make me feel good.
No, I don't hate that because I have them in that same tier. Like they're in. I have them in the good tier.
Yeah.
So you did an SA like B. I did it S tier, great, good, boring slash blah, and then bad.
Okay, so we each had them mid tier.
Yeah,
We each have them in the B tier.
yeah.
So
So I
I
don't.
had
And I
yeah,
mean, like you say, like if there's a way they could make the skate more relevant, use it more often.
yeah.
I
I
don't see
just
it.
wish they brought out they dusted off the white skate jerseys.
Mhm.
That would be
That's arguably the most iconic jersey in
yeah.
team history.
Yeah, because you see like Trevor Linden hugging
Kirk
McLean.
McLean.
Like, I think that's a really good photo in the white skate jersey. So yeah, I got Canucks at 15. Fight me.
All right. Um. Hmm. This I'm gonna go with my next best pick, and this might be a hot take as well. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, I had them right after Vancouver. So
Okay.
I had them around mid.
I I don't love their black alternate jersey.
It's weird, isn't it like a gradient with like silver?
It's like something you do as like a beginner Photoshop project almost.
Yeah, like it looks like a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, like it's just
You know
like
what I mean?
I know what you're saying. It's like you know. Did you have the same experience that we did as kids, where like we had one teacher who like showed us what transitions were on like Microsoft PowerPoint, and so
Yeah.
your whole PowerPoint presentation was just like a whole bunch of transitions for each slide,
Like
and it's just
you
like
always
this.
had you always had to throw different ones for each slide
Yes,
too.
so different one for each slide. And so like if you like you kind of wanted to be first so you could get all of your transitions out of the way, because once you did one transition then you saw like 20 of the same transition.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
if you were the kid who presented eighth, it's like we've already seen this transition like 7 times.
You thought you had the best one, but then everyone prior to you has used that, so now it's just like everyone's sick and tired of it, and your shine is like the one where like it crumples up or it goes into like an origami and it's a bird flying away. You're like, yo, they're gonna love this. But then 7 people prior to you use that same one, and now they're just like, all right, get on with the next slide. Like
Like,
it's
yeah.
almost a flex if you don't use any transitions.
Yeah,
It's just a
you kind
alpha move.
you kind of zag from everybody, right? Where
Yeah,
you don't do the transition, but then also then you have like the teacher who's like, well, you didn't use any transitions, like you didn't make this like a
yeah,
real watchable. It's like, well, fuck you. What did you expect me to do? Like I'm,
yeah, exactly.
you should do my project for me.
Yeah,
Um, Again, I like Tampa's logo. It's just clean. It's a clean
yeah,
blue and white jersey.
yeah,
Uh, the black Tampa would probably be higher if they went back to like the reverse retro as an alternate instead of their black gradient one.
which I think they're bringing back.
I think they're
The
in the works of doing that.
yeah, like the blue and black jersey.
Yeah,
With yeah, I think they're bringing that one back, which I think is a good move for them.
but
Um, back to the Vinny LeCavier days.
yeah, the Vinny Prospal type era
Yeah,
for the Bolts. Again, they're average. Like you say, they're mid. Like it's just
yeah,
like this is average of the pack. Like you're not great, you're not bad. You're just it's a jersey. It's a solid jersey.
yeah. I got them around um the Detroit level. Like I think they're mid. Like they have like the relatively the same concept. Um,
You think that's what Steve Eisman really likes? It's just teams with simple jerseys.
I guess so. Do you like their stadium jerseys?
I like
Tampa?
them.
The bolts going down with like the big lightning bolt oversized on the front.
I think so. I like both their jerseys and Nashville's jerseys.
Yeah, the Smashville ones in
Yeah.
different lettering. Yeah, I think it fits the narrative of a stadium series jersey. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying?
I was you have to do something unique and interesting because the game's not going to be that unique and interesting.
Yeah, kind of
You
like when Anaheim played in California and like right
the
when hockey
the
shouldn't be played outside.
the year they had 6 outdoor games, and it's like, hey, here's Chicago and Pittsburgh at Soldier Field on a Saturday night. It's like, thanks, I didn't ask for this.
They really
Uh,
overdid the outdoor games.
yeah, they really fucked. That's a good conversation we should have on another pod. Also, speaking of the stadium series, I totally forgot they were doing a stadium series like this past year until like a month before. Like somebody told me that they were doing a stadium series. It's like, are they doing? Is
Yeah.
Tampa Bay playing Nashville outdoors? I mean,
Yeah,
I
wait.
guess.
Really? Okay.
Sure. I mean, the NHL has done stupider things. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense.
I guess I'll tune in maybe.
Um, you have the next pick here.
All right. I think I'm gonna. I'm in between two teams here. And one of them was one I was kind of fighting my demons with earlier when I went with San Jose. So, maybe. Actually, no. I'm going to go this direction. Philadelphia Flyers. I'm going the orange jerseys with the different colored name bar. I think it's just very unique, different. The jersey concept is not one of my favorites with
And
the
that's why I have Philly lower on mine is because the
yeah,
concept's like, yeah.
but I love the color orange and I just think it works with them. I like their whites more because I think the orange sleeves just looks better as like a trim color. I just like the different colored name bars. I just think it's different. And I like their black jerseys too. Um,
Their black jerseys are weird too, because like those are alternates. Or like you talk about like if you catch me on a different day, I might have a different opinion. Where it's like some days like yeah, that's actually I can get behind that, and then other days it's like I don't know, that's
yeah. But I like Florida. I'm not Florida. I like Philly. Yeah, I don't know. I've just been there's like a perfectly mid jersey, but I like the color orange and it just kind of jumped out to me.
some would argue it's the best part about Philly heading into this season.
Not a lot of good going on with them.
No, that was that your 16th pick? No, that was your 17th pick, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was the my ninth pick
Your
overall.
ninth, 17th overall.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 18 for me. This might be a hot take. I'm gonna go with the Vegas Golden Knights.
Ooh.
Similar to the Seattle Kraken, I think it's really tough to like fuck up like jerseys you just made. And with Vegas, I think the Vegas are either jerseys you either love or hate, and I love them because of the fact that I like their logo. I like all like how did I just I like all the stitching that they have going on a Vegas jersey. I like their gray. I like the white. I like the gold. I even like their red jerseys that they did for reverse retros. I mean,
Interesting.
and it's still Vegas. Like it's so Golden Knights, and I think it's unique, and that's why I have Vegas high on my list. You seem surprised by that,
I'll be
but
honest, Ian, I think we may have both missed this round, man. I had I have Vegas in my F tier, dog.
oh
I hate Vegas jerseys. I do not
oh
like them at all.
oh I do yeah I do not like gray jerseys and yeah it's the green eggs and ham. I do not like gray jerseys and yeah. Um, Flurry with a Vegas jersey is like the most iconic player I could think of in a Vegas jersey, and I thought it looked. I don't know. Now I think it looks natural. Like I think of like Flurry now in a Vegas jersey because of those jerseys, and I thought because they just look so nice. They look. I don't know if clean's the right word, but they look like they belong.
Interesting. All right, I'll respect your pick, but
Um,
I
you
just
don't you
had him
don't
a
you don't you don't like it, but you respect it.
yeah. I
All right,
I had him lower.
all right, that's fair.
I had
Um,
him low.
okay. You got the you. That was my 18th. That was 18th overall. You have 19th.
All right. I hmm. See, like this is where it gets really tough because I feel like no team really belongs. And huh, I'm gonna go with my gut here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go with the Boston Bruins.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Boston. That was the team I was kind of fighting with on San Jose. Um, but I just like I can't look at any other jersey I haven't picked and say they have a better jersey than the Bruins. So I'm going with Boston. Um, again, I like the black and yellow concept. They just have a sour taste in my mouth because of 2011, but you can't
Why?
deny
What
a good looking
happened?
jersey. Something to do with like a riot happened after. Yeah, I don't know, long story, but no, yeah, Boston's jerseys. I think they're. I may have had them a bit higher, but yeah, I don't know. I like Boston's.
My issue with Boston, and I'd love to see them try a modern concept of this. I have no idea how they would work, but I'd love to see them do a modern concept. The Boston jersey, the Boston jersey, when I think of the Bruins, I think of the Happy Gilmore jersey, like that. The logo, the white jersey. There's nothing on top. There's some striping on the bottom,
Yeah.
and I think that was also around the time, like in the '90s, when they went to the finals with Ray Bork and like Cam Neely, and they got their breaks beat off by the Oilers. But
Mm-hmm.
that was also probably not a great time in Bruins history because like team wasn't actually that good and they weren't even playing at TD Garden. It was still the old Boston Garden, so you
Yeah.
still have really old school time. But like I'd love to see them try a modern version of that and see if that works. Um, the current jerseys now are like it's like it's kind of like St. Louis, but there's striping at the bottom, there's striping at the top, but it doesn't look at night. Like it's black and gold. It's not like blue. It doesn't look as nice if that makes sense.
That's fair.
It's fine, but like it doesn't.
And
Doesn't
that's
spark.
why and that's why they're a 10th round pick.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's
You
why
know?
they've fallen. They're sitting in the green room like, oh, what the hell? I didn't think I'd go this far down.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they're clean, but they definitely don't have a lot of personality to them.
No, and I mean, that's fair. They're the
Yeah.
Bruins.
Yeah. All right. Who's your next pick, dog? Who are you going with your 10th pick?
My 10th pick. Top 20. We're rounding out to top 20 here.
Yeah. This is a big pick.
This is.
This could be a difference of a few $100,000 on the rookie or a few $1,000 on the rookie contract, you know?
Fanatics is listening to this podcast. Like, what jersey do we want to promote this month, boys?
Yeah. I have my next pick picked out, and I'm just really hoping you don't snake it from me.
Again, I think there's a lot of different ways you could go here. I don't think there's one obvious one, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm also a guy who picked Vegas, and maybe, that was just too much of a hot take. I'm going to go. I have this team staring at me right now, and I'll go with the New York Islanders.
The Islanders. I like that
So,
pick. I was deciding between them or Boston. So I George is George is in love with the Islanders, especially because of Matt Barzal. But I like yellow and orange if it's done right, and I think the Islanders do it well. So
I mean, I also like Matt Barzell, so, like,
I mean, what person doesn't? He's just a hot
exactly.
dude. He's just a
Yeah.
good looking dude.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
You know, like the Islanders themselves. There's nothing fancy about these jerseys.
Yeah.
This jersey shows up to work. He brought his own lunch. Shows up to work. He does the job. He doesn't really interact. He interacts with like a few of his coworkers, not a lot. He's quite antisocial. He sits in his car on his lunch hour, and then he leaves at 5 o'clock. He goes home, and you don't know a lot about this guy. You don't
Yeah.
know a lot about these jerseys, but he just does his thing.
And he's there, clock in, clock out, go home.
Yeah, he's not trying to hang out with you at trivia night at the local bar on the Thursday. All right,
Yeah.
he's just
No.
trying to get the job done. He's trying to go somewhere else. If if
Exactly.
if you have an emergency, talk to him, but otherwise, don't bother him. That's
Exactly.
that's the equivalent for the New York Islanders jerseys. And
Yeah.
I wish they would keep the. I actually like their reverse retro, which was just like, what if we just like made it a darker blue? Like, what if we just
Yeah.
changed the shading of the blue to darker on
Such a
Photoshop?
Lou Lamoriello move.
And with that, I wish they would just keep that as an alternate jersey because I think it looks good. It's just
Yeah.
not. It's just not a good reverse retro. It's a good jersey. It's just not a good reverse retro. Um, Islanders round out the top 20 for me.
Yeah. All right. I got mine loaded, and now that they've gone back to the royal blue stages, I'm going with Edmonton.
Thank God.
Yeah, I'm so
That
glad that they changed it back. They've just gone back to the Gretzky look Oilers jerseys, which is much nicer than the pylon. Well, are they getting rid of the pylon and the navy blue ones, or just the navy blue ones, or the
I
pylon?
think. Well, I think they're keeping the navy blue as the alternate.
Okay, but they're getting rid of the pylon
They're getting
jerseys.
rid of the pylons, is what I
Thank
heard.
God, because those ones are terrible. I like the royal blue one, always have. So I think it's a good value pick having them at 21.
Yeah,
Um, Similar to my St. Louis pick earlier, but short and simple, short and sweet. Edmonton
the
Oilers.
the
Lots of
the
history to it.
the navy blue I like as like a and if they did NHL color rush, like if they just took that football or that concept from the NFL of like color rush jerseys, I think that's a really good jersey for that concept.
Yeah,
As an alternate to wear at home during a playoff game, no, no, you can't be doing that.
yeah,
Um, and I
Hyundai.
mean, and I mean, the light blue, much better look. Like you say, all the biggest moments in Oilers history have come while they're wearing that color of blue. Um, it just made so much sense to go back to it.
Yeah, 100%.
So Edmonton, 21, good pick, good pick. Um, 22. Ooh. Hmm. I have two teams here. I don't think you're gonna take either one of them. So I'm gonna go with Florida.
Florida. Okay.
I'm gonna go with
Um, they were in the same tier as Edmonton and Philly and stuff like that. They were a jersey where they were kind of in the bottom 10 of my rankings, but
that's kind of where we are now.
yeah, that's exactly it. We're in the bottom 10 of our rankings. And I think Florida fits perfectly around this area, so I think that's a good pick.
Florida, I think you could make an argument. This is the current jerseys they're wearing now are their best jerseys in team history. I think you can make that argument. I don't know if it's a great one, but I think you can make it.
I like their old logo of the Flying Panther
Yeah,
better. Um, but I like this jersey concept better.
it's one of the few. I think them, Alberta, and I'm probably missing other or them and the Flames. I'm probably missing other teams are the only one with like a state patch on their shoulder
Hmm.
because that's apparently important. You need to put a state patch as if there isn't also just another hockey team in your state.
Of
Um,
course.
I like the design. I liked it when it came out. Maybe after a few years, it maybe doesn't look as good. Maybe because also there's better jerseys that have come out since then. But like you say, if they brought back the old logo, that'd be cool. Otherwise, it's a bottom 10 jersey, and I think it's tough to reach at this point. Says the guy who also took Vegas, but it's also tough, I think, to reach at this point.
Yeah. Um,
What's your next pick?
all right. This is a tough area, but once again, you can't really make a bad pick around this time because we're in the bottom 10. Um, Between a couple teams here, but I think I'm just gonna pull the trigger and go Carolina.
All right,
I think Carolina, I'm not a huge fan of their logo, but I don't hate the jersey concept. Um,
they have three different jersey concepts. That's the thing
yeah,
with Carolina.
and I do like the canes going across. I think that's a really clean jersey. I like their black. I think there's a lot of cool things going on. It has the hurricane warning flags on a hockey stick. I think that's a really cool idea. I don't like the, it looks like a weather report hurricane kind of thing on their main red jerseys. I'm not a huge fan of, but there's not really many other directions I can go at this point, so I'm going with Carolina.
I think their white jersey is their best jersey.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
And if you I don't know how good a Canes would look on a red jersey or a black jersey, like the lettering, but it looks really good on the white jersey. So if that you like, I think that's kind of where we're at now at the point of like, what's your best jersey? And for that being your best jersey, I think that's a pretty good jersey.
Yeah, I agree.
So, which gets me to my next team, which is the Nashville Predators. I have Nashville
Okay.
uh, because I think their white jersey looks really sick. I think their yellow jersey's fine, below average.
Yeah.
It's not great, but I think their white jersey looks really nice.
Yeah. Not a massive fan of Nashville's, but I don't hate their logo, so it kind of
Yeah,
makes up for it. Um, I'm gonna go with Columbus because I really like their alternate jerseys. I'm not a huge fan of their mains, but I think their alternates are one of my favorites. The cream and the navy blue with the cannon. I think that's a really cool one, and it's the reason why I'm picking him now because I'm not in love with any other remaining jersey, but that alternate jersey sticks out to me, and like I said, I'm going with the best jersey available, so I'm picking Columbus. Um, I would have maybe had him above Carolina, but I think I like more Carolina jerseys overall than Columbus, but I
yeah.
think Columbus has the best jersey remaining out of all the teams available to be drafted. So Columbus is my next pick.
Um, I'm gonna take the because I don't think you took this team. I'm going to take the team who I think still has the best set remaining, and that's Washington.
Yeah, I haven't taken Washington.
Yeah, so I'll take
Um,
Washington. I think they still have the best. I'm gonna go with the team that still I think has the best set overall. Um,
yep,
it's it's
I, I can agree
it's
with you there.
it's fine. It's I mean like I don't know. I think Capitals. There's a lot of different ways you could go with that. We kind of you and I think have grown up with like the same sort of like Capitals logo on that jersey. I had an Ovechkin Capitals jersey as a kid,
Hmm.
and it's like it's all right. Like it's not great, but it's fine. The blue W as their alternate.
I think it's a cool jersey, but like I said, it's not gonna move the needle at all. But like you
No.
said, I can agree with you on it being the best set
So
remaining.
so teams we haven't picked yet. I think there's six teams left, if I'm not mistaken. There's New Jersey, Winnipeg, L.A., Anaheim,
Dallas.
Dallas, Chicago. Which Chicago, I mean, Chicago's kind of weird, but yeah, I mean, I'll let you go with who you want to go with next.
I think I'm going LA,
Okay.
silver black. It's the jerseys are okay. I'm not a huge fan of their logo because it looks more of like a soccer like patch emblem
Yeah, if that
than
was
a
an
hockey logo.
if that was an LAFC logo, it's like yeah, that checks out.
I if it had the crown still, I think their jerseys would be much better.
Hmm.
But I'm just not a huge fan of it. But I mean, we're in the bottom six, technically bottom five with Chicago, so I think LA belongs in this area. I'm not going to keep it too long on my
With that,
description.
I'm gonna go with Winnipeg because I like Winnipeg. I think Winnipeg's throwback. I hate their regular jerseys. Like I
Their
think
alternates, though,
their
are
alternate,
fire.
not the light blue. That remember the light blue alternate they had, that baby blue alternate that
With like
Winnipeg
the
had.
Jets handwriting,
Yeah, that
that
was
was
horrible.
terrible.
That was ass.
That's one of
But
the
then
worst jerseys I've ever seen in my life.
absolutely 100%. But like
But
the Dale Howard Chuck, dark blue with like the old Jets.
the red
That
pants and stuff looks
red pants
phenomenal.
that
So
kicks ass.
nice.
So I'm
So
gonna
nice.
I think that's the best jersey remaining, so I'll take that as my pick. I think we have, yeah, four
We
more teams
got
from.
New Jersey, Anaheim, Chicago, and
Yeah.
Dallas. Fuck. I'm gonna go with New Jersey.
Okay.
I hate their black ones though. They're
The
so
one,
bad.
the ones that say Jersey,
So bad. It's like, what are you gonna put right pants on their pants? Like that just look.
stick on the stick.
Yeah, it's gonna start labeling your equipment. No, I'm not a huge, but I don't mind the white jerseys. I think those ones are decently clean, but I don't know. There's not many more directions to go here.
Um, I'm gonna take Dallas because I like their neon black.
Okay.
The green and white, not good. Like if they went back to like the old like 2000 with like the actual star going, like I think that's what they should do. But like the Nerf, I always call it like the Nerf glow in the dark jersey. That rocks. I would buy that.
Georgia described it as the like Timbits hockey jerseys, like that
Oh
you'd
hell yeah,
wear when you're like 5 years old beginning hockey. It looks like some of those jerseys where you let the kids pick it out.
yeah,
Or it looks like when you're starting a franchise mode in NHL,
yes.
you're making a jersey. It's
The
like you make those.
the like the White Horse Cyclones or whatever, and like that's the concept you land on.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. Um, Shout out to Scott Conkin, but I'm gonna go with his boys. Um, at 31.
Their orange
Yeah.
jersey is the best jersey.
Their jerseys are just terrible. Like they have a cool logo. I really like the Mighty Ducks logo with the goalie mask. Like the logo on the orange jerseys itself are like sweet, but
Yeah,
Anaheim's jerseys are terrible. I hate them so much. And they're a reason why they would be in dead last if Chicago.
didn't exist.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'll take the Blackhawks last then. Um, which is kind of, I mean, like it's kind of weird because also like the Washington football team had like decent jerseys and like decent color scheme, but also they had a pretty racist name.
Like I prior to like everything coming out and it being like offensive and stuff, Chicago's jerseys were up there as my favorites.
Yeah,
But that was prior, like, cause I love the red, black, and white look with the like the logo itself is really cool. But that was prior to be like it's been offensive this whole time. And like I'm not one to step on anyone's feet, so like I'm open to adapting to change. So
the I was gonna say
I
I wonder
think
if I'd love to see them if they do something like how the Portland Winterhawks have changed their logos, like because now it's like kind of like a bird with like the mountains in the middle. It's like it's a nice logo.
yeah.
Um,
And I think if they yeah, obviously like I don't really know what it needs to take to like make it a bit more um woke, but um
the
it
scheme
would
the scheme is fine. It's the logo that like they can.
exactly. And I think if they just kind of like added what they needed to or like changed it what it needed to, I think the jerseys can go right back up into like the top 10 if it's done right. And but it's just a matter of like not adapting to change and stuff. So I think it belongs in last, but
Be like every other like Chicago sports team, like the Cubs and like the Bears, and just have a C. Just have a C right down the middle.
yeah. I like the Cubs C more than the Bears C though.
It's all the same C. It's more or
It's all
less
this
this. It's a C. It's
the C,
well,
right?
it's like how the Green Bay Packers have the same logo as the Georgia Bulldogs, right? Like it's all more or less the same
Just a
G,
different color scheme.
different color scheme. All right. Um, Jevon, that's the pod. Thank you very much for taking your time to do this.
Of course, man. Anything for SYP.
Oh, wow, you're too kind. Where can the people find you and reach you?
On Instagram at Jevon.Lefebvre. That's Lefebe. B as in Bob, V as in Victor, RE on Instagram. On Twitter at Jevon Lefebvre. Find everything for my show, Left Side Heavy on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Left Side Heavy underscore. And yeah, I'm also posting the episodes on YouTube as well. So if you want to watch our episodes on YouTube, they'll be up there. Got to upload our episode from that I uploaded yesterday on Wednesday, but got to do that tonight. But yeah, Ian, thanks for having me on, man. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we got to talk about core memories like transition, Microsoft PowerPoint,
Oh
and
yeah.
Poco Rec Center, and all that great stuff.
Don't bring
Um,
up Poco Rec Center.
you you can listen to the Speak Your Peace podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. You can watch full episodes on our YouTube channel. We're supposed to do another football preview with Hayden at some point here. We're discussing the North divisions next, NFC and AFC North.
Ooh.
Um, so that he wants to save the South as the best for last for some reason. I don't know why. Um,
Minnesota's sneaky contenders to win the NFC North.
Do you know I texted Hayden yesterday? It's like doing my notes on Minnesota. It's like I can't think of one memorable thing that happened to them last season. I don't remember a single thing that happened to the Vikings.
They have the most perfectly average quarterback in NFL history, but he's made the third most money.
And as a result, they have like the third most average or the most average team, and because they have the most average quarterback, and it's just like, yeah, this team could go like 9-8, and they'll be like hovering
He'll
around a playoff spot.
he throw like 35 interceptions, 35 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 4,500 yards, and they'll be like 9-8. It's like what?
They have a weird Thursday night game against somebody like the Cowboys or somebody. It's like I guess I'll tune in and watch this. This could
Yeah,
be interesting. Sure, all
yeah.
right. Jevon, thank you again for taking the time to do this. Greatly appreciated. We'll be back soon. Thank you to everybody for listening and watching. Be sure to subscribe, check us out, and yeah, peace out.
Peace.